Hey, yo, it's your boy Los. Real quick, I'm gonna be straight with you about something. I'm trying to get to the points and then log off. I am slightly confused at the moment about how this whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing definitely has me confused, and I don't really know what to believe, to be honest with you. So I've seen multiple videos, read multiple write-ups and everything about the incident that happened, and what didn't happen, what the media is not showing you, and so on and so forth, right? And so I guess this video here is more so of a questionnaire. Like, if anybody has the answers that I need, please present them to me. Put them in the comment section or whatever. But I don't understand a couple things, right? Mainly, and I'm just going to put them out there, mainly I don't understand and this is all, I don't know, this is all, I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm baffled. Like, I don't understand why, I think his name was Joseph or Josh, something like that. I don't understand why he felt it necessary to yell at just Kyle, right? So in the video we see Kyle sitting there, and the guy is like, shoot me, N-word, shoot me, right? And he's saying that, and I don't understand why he's picking on Kyle when there's other guys. So if you think back to the video that we saw where the guy interviews Kyle before all this happened, right? He's pretty much asking, what you doing out here? He's, I'm helping out and blah, 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 giving aid, and I salute him for that. He was trying to give aid to everybody, not just those that look like him, but everybody who was there. For anybody that was hurt, he was trying to help them out. Salute for that. And as he's talking to the guy, the reporter, you can tell there's a guy with him, and you can tell that guy is really not necessarily trying to be in the midst of this conversation. I don't think he's even feeling the interview as a whole, right? And so he pretty much says, hey, it's time for us to go. We got to go find and see if there's anybody else that needs our assistance, right? So they leave. So that got that scene there. Going back to the scene where Kyle and this guy is, arguing back and forth, that same gentleman is there, right? So there's 2 or 3 different guys there with Kyle, yet this guy here is solely focused in on yelling and throwing racial slurs at Kyle and Kyle alone, right? And my question is why? Like, people would say, oh, he was putting out a fire. He put a fire out of the dumpster. Okay, but apparently with everybody there, he wasn't the only one, yet they still only yelled at Kyle. And people was like, oh, well, he gave aid at the time, that's why he's by himself. No, he wasn't by himself at that time, and that was a different video, a different cut. He was standing there with 3 or 4, well, I guess 2 or 3 other guys, or his team, yet this guy and the crowd as a whole seemed to only look at and pick on him. Now, mind, this is before any shooting, right? This is before any shooting takes place. This guy and Kyle and the other people, whatever, are having this conversation, which then leads to Kyle running for. We then see Kyle running for his life, and we hear, get that mother bling bling bling, and then fireballs thrown at him and like that. So I guess my confusion is what made everything progress as far as it went, right? That bothers me, because I don't see. I just don't get why they felt the need to take it 100 that way, when if everything was cool. If Kyle didn't say anything disrespectful to them, for him even to say shoot me, right? I don't know. I felt as if maybe Kyle had said, hey, if you don't calm down, I'm gonna shoot you, something like that. Mad speculation, of course, but I feel as if he was saying that as an answer to a question or a statement that was presented to him. Like, well, shoot me then, shoot. If you gonna talk that talk, shoot me. That's the impression I got, right? And I just wonder if maybe possibly Kyle isn't this sweet, loving hero that the picture's been painted of him, and maybe he was actually out there, as the moment got to him, You know what I'm saying? He started to feel himself, started to feel things, and just kind of ended up saying stuff he had no business saying. Now, also, with all that said, I want to say this here. I don't believe, and this is me off, just visual what I've seen. I don't believe Kyle to be a racist. I don't think he was out there, hunting blacks or hunting people in general. It is a little odd that he just came, across town for this. From my understanding, he doesn't know anybody who owned those stores. They're not friends of his. They're not, relatives or whatever like that. So I am a little puzzled as to why he felt compelled. It wasn't his city, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't born there. He doesn't have any ties there. Just all of a sudden, he just felt the need to go there and to protect, the way in which he did. And so I'm a little, curious as to why. What was it about that city? Was it about those stores that made him feel it's his responsibility? I'm saying to be there. But that's like I said, I got questions. These are just my questions. That's all this is. This is questions. But I do have a statement to make though. Many have said that. So we've seen the video where he's running and he's on the phone with somebody and he said, "I just shot somebody," and I've heard many people say, "Oh," and I'm asking like, "Yo, who was he on the phone with?" And people have said, "Oh, he's on the phone with the police, right? 911." And I strongly disagree with that. Well, here's what I'm gonna say. If he was by chance on the phone with 911 and he was confessing to them that he shot somebody, right? Then I guess my question then would be, when he's so. Let me say this. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I don't know the timeline as to when he shot the first person and said, I shot somebody, and then he's walking towards the cops with his hands raised. I don't know if he's doing that after he got jumped. I don't know if he's doing that after he shot the first person. I'm not sure when he's doing that, but I'm pretty certain, if I could bet money, right? He's walking towards them, hands raised, gun still on his shoulders, after the 3 shots, right? Or the 3 shootings. Okay. So going back to the 911 call, if by chance he was on the phone with 911 and we see him walking towards the police, hands up, blue gloves, I would assume that he would go to them and say, "Hey, I'm the guy who just called 911 about shooting these individuals." Okay? I'm the guy, because you hear the intercom, or when the cop says, "Hey, you with the long gun, long rifle, whatever, get out of here and don't come back. Thank you for your service. Get out of here, don't come back." Right? So I'm going to assume that he's walking towards them at the ending of everything, right? If by chance he's on the phone with 911, I just would have made the assumption that he would walk to them and say, "Hey, I just called you guys about what I just did. I'm that guy," right? Or if he cared at all, even if he didn't call 911 at that time, if he cared at all, I just assumed he would have been like, "Hey, there's a guy over here that I shot, 3 guys that I shot." If he's innocent, right? I shot these 3 people out of self-defense. 2, I'm pretty sure, are dead. 1 is not critical, but you need to send medical help over here, right? He didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't let the cops right then and there in front of his face know that someone over here has been shot and is in need of medical aid. He just dipped, right? So I guess my question then would be on this part here, if he's such a good guy, if his whole point there was to give medical aid, and if by chance this was really just self-defense, right? If by chance all of this it was strictly just self-defense and he's in the right by all of this, then my question would be, well, my guy, why didn't you try to help? Why didn't you send or ask for help for anybody for these individuals that are shot? You see, I hope I'm making sense with my question, because I don't understand. Like I said, I am so confused, and I'm confused a lot because we're only getting really, I want to say clips, bits and pieces from the video. It's like watching the first Batman trailer and trying to decipher, what the movie's gonna be about. You haven't seen enough, you haven't seen enough of the trailer or enough of the trailers of the movie to really be able to pick it apart and figure out exactly how the movie's gonna go. And so there's, in my opinion, there's so many loopholes in this conversation that makes it hard to figure out what really happened. And I want to know. I just don't have. I don't have the feeling. I get it, right? So I was watching one of the videos, and this dude who's a lawyer, dope video. I've said it before. I said it again. He really got me thinking. I really started to change my way of thinking by watching his video, right? Dope video. But after watching this video, I'm thinking some more about it. I'm not. My boss always tells me something because the position that I hold, where I work weekends and nights and everything, I have to be careful. I do get in a lot of altercations with people, and he always tells me, make sure I'm on the high road, right? Whenever if I get in my incidents that I get into, make sure I'm on the high road, right? And so I've had to confront people on the weekends and whatnot, and he gives me a story pretty much. Basically, he's an ex-cop, and he's like, you know, because I'm 6'2.5", 6'3" 250 and some change, 275 actually, some change, and he says if by chance I ever got ran up on by a guy who's like 5'2", right? And let's say he's talking trash, whatever like that, and let's say, you know, I don't know, or even if he swings on me, it doesn't matter, right? But I beat him to a pulp, right? I just beat him down, bloody, the whole nine, right? He says that when the cops get to me, they'll say, well, Mr. Noon, did you feel that your life was threatened, right? And if I say, nah, man, I ain't worried about him, but they look at his face, though, and they say, yo, you weren't worried about him, but you beat him down badly, right? They're probably going to end up taking me in for, you know, excessive and so on and so forth, because I wasn't worried about him, yet I beat him down. I say that to say, I get the self-defense with Kyle because it was obvious they were trying to get him, right? It was obvious they were trying to take him out. Now, mind you, many would say, and my man in the video said, they were reacting because all they heard was he shot someone, didn't understand the context of why he shot someone. But nevertheless, though, they were trying to get him, and so yes, he was defending himself from individuals that were trying to take him out. But I guess my question is, going back to the beginning of all this, why was old dude Joseph, the one who shot at the beginning, why was he zeroed in on Kyle so much? What did Kyle say? And I have to say, what did Kyle say, because of the fact that there was others there, other men with guns that were sitting right there who rolled with Kyle, you know what I'm saying? And so it's apparent they didn't say anything to the crowd or to this individual. It's apparent that they weren't, okay, kids, they weren't, for lack of a better word, stirring up things. They were walking back and forth, and no one was stressing them, just Kyle. Well, why? What did Kyle say that made him flip the way he flips, right? And then also, if by chance Kyle was there to give aid, although he said he was, but that was his main mission, and he's a good guy, and he's a hero, and this, that, and the third. Well, if that be the case, why didn't he turn himself in, or at least tell the cops, hey, this is what I did? Or why didn't he say, hey, please call an ambulance? There's guys over here that are shot that I shot. He didn't do that. So why, if he's this hero, why didn't he do the hero or heroic thing by taking care of these three individuals that he put lead into? I don't know, man. I don't have any answers for you. This video is really just a questionnaire asking why. And I promise you, we can sit here all day long and, you know, speculate and say this happened. We won't know until all the evidence gets in place. But I'm not one to rush and say, well, like this. I try not to be one to rush and say X, Y, and Z. But I'm definitely not rushing into this one here, because I just have a feeling that this is not going to end in such a way where everyone thinks it will. And I personally feel that there is a hidden story dealing with Kyle, and it's gonna come out. There's a video I just saw, and me and my guys were talking about it, and like I said, I'm not gonna rush to the point and say it was him. Yeah, the shoes matched. Bill was the same. I was looking at this Bill when he was talking with the green shirt on with the gloves and interviewed. I was looking at his build. Then I was like, okay, 17-year-old cat, a little swole like. And so the build of him in the interview looks the same as the build in the young man that but he fights this girl. And there's a bunch of them. You know what I'm saying? There was like 2 or 3 dudes and 2 chicks, and they all jump on this one chick and they just beat her. And you see him, his shoes come off, and he's just laying in on her, just crazy to me. But yeah, I think that there's gonna be a rude awakening when we see and hear who he really is. And I'm not buying into the hero thing anymore. I'm not buying into the that he was just there for that. Man, questions are in my. I couldn't sleep last night thinking about these questions. My wife would tell you I was up literally all night and up into the morning trying to figure out. Not trying to figure out. It just kept rushing through my mind, and I don't have an answer for it. I'm sorry I'm rambling. If you want to click off, it's cool. I'm good with that. I'm not. If I'm in a crowd like that and I'm fired up, I don't know. Anyways, if you got answers, man, like I said, just questions. Leave a comment, please. Wherever you see this, YouTube, Facebook, whatever. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I want to hear y'all's thoughts on the issue. Let's talk about it. Let's try to be respectful, man. Let's try to be respectful. But yeah, I have questions. Let your boy know what you think. All right, y'all. Grace. Yeah. All right.